Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with a controversial view of Alfred Hitchcock's The Lodger, a story of the London fog. Controversial View is the series in which Jason from Horrific Nightmares and I watch and discuss controversial movies and TV shows. The controversies vary from film to film or show to show. They can range from behind-the-scenes incidents to on-set drama to subject matter alone. There are a few controversies surrounding Alfred Hitchcock's silent slasher film, and well, that's one of them. The fact that The Lodger, made in 1926 and officially released in 1927, is a slasher. But how can that be if another Hitchcock movie is allegedly the first ever slasher film? Psycho, from 1960. Then, of course, there's Michael Powell's Peeping Tom, released the same year as Psycho in 1960, but technically before it. Many consider that to be the first slasher film. Then there are those who say it's Halloween, or maybe Black Christmas. A Bay of Blood, also known as Twitch of the Death Nerve, gets credit for that. And then obviously there is a term that I very much dislike: proto-slasher. People try to draw a line between proto-slashers and slashers, but essentially they're the same thing. Just because there isn't a word for something yet doesn't mean that thing doesn't exist. An apple was an apple before someone called it an apple. A slasher was always a slasher. Drop the proto. Which brings us back to The Lodger, a story of the London fog. Although this was technically Hitchcock's third film, he considered it to be his first. It was his first movie that achieved commercial success, and it really is an early example of his style. By the way, this here is the Alfred Hitchcock Premiere Collection, and it just happens to contain The Lodger as one of the films in this set. Each movie has a few pages dedicated to it in this book-style packaging, as you can see here. And then finally, there's the disc. Now, what I'm getting at here is the fact that one could argue The Lodger is a slasher film. It's a silent movie, but that doesn't matter. The Lodger still clearly follows the slasher formula. It's a movie about a serial killer known as the Avenger, on the loose, killing blonde women. It opens with a murder, and there's a pattern to his kills. With each victim, he leaves behind a small sheet of paper with a triangle and the Avenger written inside of it. There is a climactic chase scene and a final girl, not to mention loads and loads of atmosphere. The Lodger is not only a silent slasher film, but it's a whodunit slasher film. So I ask, why are so many so hesitant to give it credit for that? Why do horror fans discredit slasher films that were made before Psycho or Peeping Tom? And why are they so stuck on this term proto-slasher for movies like Psycho and Peeping Tom? In my opinion, that's controversial. And in my opinion, The Lodger is a slasher. Another cool controversy I'd like to mention has to do with the opening. Alfred Hitchcock wanted to show the murder victim being dragged out of the river with the bridge in the background. Scotland Yard, however, refused his request to film at the bridge. Hitchcock repeated his request numerous times until Scotland Yard finally agreed to look the other way if he could get the scene filmed in one night. Unfortunately, due to an error by the cameraman, that footage was lost and never made it into the final film. The last controversy I want to discuss involves Hitchcock himself once again and lead actor Ivor Novello. Novello, who played the lodger in the movie, was gay in real life. It's unconfirmed whether or not Hitchcock knew this, but it seems pretty clear that he did. There are certain lines in the film, through intertitles of course, that seem to imply Hitchcock was aware. While this wouldn't be controversial in modern times, you have to remember, this was 1926. Again, The Lodger officially premiered in January of 1927. And here's something else worth mentioning. There are some risque moments in the movie, especially for its time. There are numerous portraits of blonde women, some of whom are naked, and there's what I would describe as a controversial bathtub scene, when our final girl is being watched or stalked. A good amount of skin is shown too, for 1927. Plus, like I said, she's being watched as she's naked in the tub. If you're a fan of Hitchcock and you haven't seen The Lodger, I highly recommend it. If you're a fan of the silent era, I again recommend it. If you're a fan of both, The Lodger is right up your alley. And a foggy one at that. If not, though, that's fine. Jason and I watched it, so you don't have to. This is just my controversial view. Please be sure to check out Jason's as well. Have you seen Hitchcock's silent slasher, The Lodger, a story of the London fog? If so, what do you think of it? Do you consider it to be a slasher film? Comment below and let me know. Which controversial movie or TV show will we view next? Check back soon to find out. Until then, remember, physical media matters. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and, be kind, subscribe.